Want to be heard on the Non-Stop Radio Show? Send us your submissions in MP3 format at Let's Network Musically 212@gmail.com.
This is Non-Stop Radio.
WT Harris and Hickory Grove. I'm back on that mode, no time to be playing. I got destinations to stop to fill up, but I'm back on that road. Looked in the eyes of my wife and my children for gripping the steel, and we're going for gold. Heart wasn't doing too well, it had gave us a scare, and your boy only 30 years old. Went through the ring of the cardio, had your boy nervous as hell. Devil been working like crazy on me and my lady, but watch how this marriage prevails. Weight going down, the business we scale, committing the crime, don't care if you tell. When it comes to killing the game, ain't showing no shame, they know that it's Trell. Your kid's favorite hero, I'm far from amigo, ain't nothing to tell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Once again, it's your boy Emilio Wackball, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us here today. And for those of y'all out there that's tuned in and listening right now, we definitely got a treat in store for y'all, as here joining me now on the line from out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the show Mr. Trell Brooks. Trell, how are you, brother? How's everything?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's everything is everything. I'm feeling blessed, man. I appreciate you having me. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Definitely want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for coming and joining us here today on the show. And we definitely appreciate your presence, man. And with that being said, normally what I like to do at the beginning of the interview, I would like to give, our guests the opportunity to, to take a few minutes, introduce themselves to the audience, tell them a little bit about yourself, brother. The floor is all yours.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Again, it's Trell Brooks. I'm coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm an educator. I've been rapping and writing and doing music now for going on about 10 years. Started off with writing, moved on into spoken word poetry, then moved into rapping, and now I'm where I'm at with it. So, again, I appreciate y'all having me, but that's a little bit about me and my background, how I got into all this.
No doubt, man. So 10 years you've been doing your thing, man. And you said you started off spoken word and you're getting into the rapping aspect of it now. So how do you feel about the transition? Is it anything different, or is it all sort of the same experience now, just with the spoken word? You kind of putting music behind it in the form of hip hop. How would you explain that?
Yeah, the transition was very rewarding, because with spoken word, you have that free range. You don't really necessarily have that beat to kind of necessarily stay in a pocket in, or to kind of get certain things across without it sounding off or weird or just kind of out of sync. But with rapping, when you do have that beat, you do have that kind of that background for whatever you wrote or whatever you spit. And it's kind of like, okay, here's my parameters that I got to work in. But it gives you a sense of a skill with your writing. So for me, it was just another level of my writing that I just kind of tapped into. It's like I'm writing, I'm expressing myself, I'm getting busy with my pen, but now here's another element. Try writing to a beat, and now that gives me an opportunity to work on flow, pace, cadence, delivery, like just technical things of that nature. So the transition was really rewarded for me because of what I gained out of it.
So who was some of your biggest influence that inspired you to get into the art of making music?
Well, being from North Carolina and just kind of listening to what I was listening to coming up, I would have to say Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Andre 3000, Outkast, Big Boy. People like Nas. Who else did I listen to? Yeah, I would say individuals like that. I still listen to a lot of Outkast and Goody Mob and just Southern lyricists like T.I. A lot of, obviously, Cole, Kendrick, a lot of people who are really just saying something, whether it's something I could resonate with, something that I had no clue about, something that just kind of touched on me as a black man or as a young black man at the time. And just the way it was delivered to me was very it was very amusing. It was just kind of enticing and just educating me as well, and just kind of put me on game. And just those are some of the individuals that I listened to and that I remember paying attention to the most whenever something was on that they did or that they wrote over.
very interesting list, you know, when you name a lot of the artists that is on there right now. You know, speaking of North Carolina, you definitely got a lot of heavy hitters that come from out of your state as well. You know, my favorite producer of all time happens to hail from North Carolina. For those of y'all out there who is listening right now, that's none other than Knife Wonder. And you also have, you know, the likes of Rhapsody comes out of North Carolina. You got J. Cole that comes from North Carolina. You got a few dope people that come from out of your state, man. So how does it feel for you to be carrying the banner and continuing on the tradition of North Carolina hip hop?
No, it feels good. It really does feel amazing to kind of be a part of that, because you know, we're known for like the hoop state, you know, with UNC and Duke and everything. So we're known for certain things, but when musically, especially hip hop, you know, like you said, Knife, you know, Little Brother, Rhapsody, J. Cole, we got the Baby out of Charlotte. Like it's, people may forget about, you know, P.D. Pablo way back in the day.
Yeah.
Known for North Carolina, you know what I mean, that little run he had or whatever. But either way, it's a dope feeling, because, you know, even all those people that I named, just for me, you know, it's just a certain level of lyricism that I can appreciate. And with us being from the South and actually like really being from the South and spitting what we be spitting about, is, man, it's just rewarding. It's fulfilling to the spirit, man. It makes you feel good to be where you're from, you know?
Absolutely, man. I can dig that one. You know, and when it comes down to mentioning P.D. Pablo, man, it just made me giggle a little bit, because I was just thinking about a song that I heard the other day from P.D. Pablo, and a lot of people out there probably don't remember it, but what is it, Freakily? It came on the radio the other day, so just listening to that and then hear you name him or whatever, that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, man. Freakily, minute, yo.
No doubt, man, for real. So with that being said, man, you know, I know like the hip hop scene is changing a lot right now, especially with, you know, not only just the music and the way it sounds right now, but you got a lot of people that are changing their tune as far as, you know, looking to sign with record labels and things of that nature. So like, how do you feel about today's overall music industry as we are going through all these different changes and we're seeing so many different things that are unfolding before our eyes?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm actually learning more as I get further and further into what I'm doing on that side of this, the music industry or the business side. But I think nowadays a lot of the blueprints are being kind of laid out via social media and interviews and conferences and just kind of meetups and gatherings, to where people are understanding kind of the inner workings of what labels are doing or what certain organizations are looking for, entities are looking for. And so depending on what side of the fence you're on, or depending on what craft you're in, as far as the producing side, the actual like songwriting side, the performance side, like you have to, I think what's best is to do what's best for you, figure out what's best for you. And if that means for you and your team trying to go the label route, you know, and for whatever reason you weighed those pros and cons and checked off those boxes, and this seems for the best move at this current moment with these certain stipulations, then by all means go for it. But if you feel like you want to have more ownership and control and independence and autonomy over what's being done on every level, and you feel like that's the best decision, do that. Because like I said, I can't speak from a place where like I've been in the independent space and I've been in the label space, because I haven't. I'm still learning as I'm going, as I'm getting my own experience. But I will say and attest to, you know, figuring out what works and continuing to work it until you need to adjust or you know, move things around accordingly, however that may look for you and your team. That's
a good answer right there, especially with the way the business is changing so much as we are looking right now. You know, you got a lot of people has been discussing, you know, the situation going on with the streaming right now. And then also you looking and you're seeing how, you know, more and more AI is being integrated into the music industry. So, you know, that was a very good answer that you give, and all that good stuff as well. So like with that being said, you know, being that now we are in the era where it's more easier to make music, things is more accessible than what they was maybe, you know, 20 years ago. How do you feel now? Like, do you feel like this is a better time for artists, or do you feel as though like the old ways is still somewhat better? How would you feel about that?
That's a tricky one, because on one end I'm looking at it like, this could really, if it's abused in a sense, so to speak, I think it could take away from a lot of people's ambition and creativity, and I say that because, forcing yourself to really come up with these lyrics or think of these sounds and kind of work them and produce them versus like kind of AI in it and having it right there. It's kind of like, well, it's efficient. Mm-hmm. It cuts back on some time. Like you're saving time. You're moving forward. Things are a little bit more crisp and efficient. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I think it has the potential to rob you of just the creative experience, but also giving birth to another type of creative experience, because like you said, everything's changing. And so it's kind of like that gift and the curse type of deal, but I think it's just how often and how frequently you're using it, because whatever a producer or engineer is using to make me sound however I need to sound, I ain't got no problem with that. But for me as a lyricist, as a writer, I'm not going to be going to Chat GPT and dictionary.com and like just trying to, like, I'm really going to dive into the experience in the moment that I'm trying to create through these lyrics, so I don't have to feel like I'm forcing and pulling stuff or like I need a crutch. Like, nah, I'm going to just use my creativity. I'm going to just look around. My daughter got a pack of diapers over there. I'm going to make the connection with the diaper. I'm going to do something creative, but I'm not going to just quickly microwave that thing. You know what I'm saying? So no shot at anybody that does that, but like, that was like just speaking for me, I still have a very close, intimate relationship with my creativity, with my, creations. I don't want it to feel like, I just took it out the freezer, popped it in the microwave, and it was ready.
Right.
If that makes any sense, bro. You know what I mean? Slow cook that mud. You know what I mean? Just if it calls for it,
No, absolutely. That makes a whole lot of sense. And that's one of the biggest arguments that I find myself, going through with people as well when it comes to the whole conversation about AI moving into the music industry now. Like, when it boils down to it, yes, it makes the job easy in certain degrees, depending on how you use it. But for people that use AI for beginning to end with their process or whatever, I can't really consider them artists. They could say it and I respect it and that's cool, but when it boils down to it, I got more respect for the people that sit down there for hours or however long it take you through your process to go and put these things together. AI is cool, like I said, when you use it in certain degrees, but when it boils down to it, it's like it kind of takes away from the humanistic feeling of the music that we get. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when something's computerized compared to what you can hear when somebody actually sitting down and they wrote it themselves, they made the beat themselves, they went through the whole degree of difficulty in putting out this project, themselves. You can tell the difference,
Absolutely, bro. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, your new single, Shiesty, is out now and is making his way around. It found his way into my inbox, courtesy of your manager. Shout out to him and all that good stuff. So let's talk to the people about that. Shiesty, man, what was the concept behind this?
I was going through BeatStars, and there was a producer that I really rock with heavy out here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he goes by the D Chiz. Shout out to the whole East Side, and shout out to D Chiz. But he had that beat up there, and I played it, and just the intro and the build up to it just got me feeling like. And I said this the other day. I was talking to somebody. I was like, it had me in like a real grimy mood, but not in the way that most people would think. It's kind of like it grimy in a way of like I want to prove people wrong. You know what I'm saying? Grimy and like I want to go hard on my job and my ambitions and my goals that like it just looks like I'm killing it and there's no way you can hate on it even if you really wanted to. Like a whole flip on Shiesty, you know what I'm saying? A whole positive push behind it is really what I was going for. But also just speaking about my life and speaking about real things that I deal with. You know what I mean? I'm an educator, I'm a father, like I live what I rap what I live, but I'm just doing it in a dope way. And so, it's just me just like getting Shiesty and being grimy and gritty in my skill set,
And what's been the response that you've been getting from people that's, checked out this song and, played it and come back to you with feedback?
Oh no, the feedback has been amazing. It's been honest. It's been nothing but love at the same time, as well, because it's homegrown. Coming from Charlotte as far as the beat of the producer, and then me being out here and just writing and working on my craft and my skill set within my busy schedule. Like it's been well accepted, and it does well performance wise. Just it gives me the opportunity to really showcase, my art, my lyricism. Like I think a lot of times, and I say that because I had got caught up in this for a while because I have such a busy schedule. I don't get to perform as much as I would like to, but I do have a home studio that I kind of get to work out in. And so a lot of stuff that I work out on before it gets mixed and mastered sounds really, really good because I've been working it out. But when you actually perform, it's kind of like, oh, I haven't had that much performance opportunity and experience. So now it's different. And so now I try to focus on highlighting the skill set within the performance. So now that people can not just hear it on the radio or hear it on Apple Music or when they're streaming, they're like, oh, he really spitting. Like, no, when you see me and I'm performing a song, this is me really spitting. I can really spit that way. This is me. This is how I wrote it. This is how I thought. This is how I recorded. This is how I cleaned it up. And this is a polished version of it. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to just be a studio artist, basically. It's one thing to really hear these lyricists, but to ever go to a show or catch them on the corner one day and they just happen to be downtown spitting with everybody, like, to hear it live, that's an experience that I'm trying to create for people because it's like I said, it's something intimate, it's something amazing about it, it's something just it brings everything a little closer to home rather than just listening to it and having it in your playlist. So when I can do that for people live, that's the focus that I'm on right now, and that's where I'm headed. It's trying to create that experience and that moment for people through the lyrics and through what I'm saying, the message that I'm pushing.
I can totally understand that, man. And it's like, like having conversations with various artists that, have crossed this platform, they always say the exact same thing in this sense when it comes to just being able to get out there and touch the people, not just, being a studio artist and you just dropping music and don't never go out to perform it, but actually getting that experience, being able to interact and have that intimate moment with your listeners and, being able to share that experience with them and everything like that. That's definitely something a lot of artists, definitely strive for. And, and during that answer that you gave, you brought up another point that was very interesting that I wanted to ask you about too. Being that you wear so many different hats, educator, father, family man, also an artist, and you got a lot of other stuff that you do. How do you manage your time, being able to accomplish all of these very different things that you have going on in your life?
I think the best answer that I can give for that, and I can't say that I'm always consistent in it, but you have to be very intentional with whatever time you have. And so for me, it's not like when as soon as I get home or as soon as I wake up, I'm just rushing to find the time to go ahead and work in the studio. Like, obviously I have priorities. I have children, I have a wife, I have a home, so a lot of these things need my attention almost 24/7. I'm a teacher too. I work with kids. So my attention and my energy is pulled in so many directions. So I have to be very, and I mean very, very, almost scary, very, very scary, like intentional with what I'm doing with the time. And so I'm realizing that when I was single or when it was just me and my lady and it wasn't the kids, it wasn't us moved into a home with a mortgage and everything, when it was just us, like an hour felt a lot longer because it was just us. I didn't have as many responsibilities and priorities. Now that I am who I am and I do what I do, an hour is not an hour anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I get time to record, I don't have time to do like 20, 30, 40 takes anymore. I don't, because I know a diaper's gonna need to be changed. Then there's gonna have to get fixed soon, or like we gotta hurry up and leave for soccer practice or basketball practice or whatever it is. Like something's always needs addressing or attention, or we heading out to do something. And so I really, really prioritize thinking ahead, right? Because if I do that, I think ahead and I plan ahead for the things that I know that's on schedule and routine, that kind of buys me time as well. Mm-hmm. And so when I do get that time to work on my craft or my song or content, whatever it is, I have it right then and there. And it's not always the case too. Like sometimes things happen, it's out of my control. But one thing I have mastered is understanding how to intertwine my music and my craft into my everyday life without feeling like I have to move things away or push things lower on the priority list that shouldn't be lower on the priority list just to make time for that. Like, my kids are around, I can't focus on this rap. All right, bet. Here we go. Y'all all go sing the hook. You feel me? Like, yeah. And I'm gonna see what that's saying. It's happened a couple of times and I've kept it. And I'm like, oh, this actually worked. Like, so it's one thing where it's like, it's just how you look at it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, my kids aren't going anywhere, so I can't just push them away while I'm trying to do this music. Like, they want to be a part of it. They want to see it. So if anything, I'm a teacher. Let me show them what it looks like when you're not consistent with your sound and your waves. You see how the waves are off? I have to be more consistent with my sound. Let me redo this. This is what you do when you press record. So, like, I just incorporate everything into everything so it doesn't feel forced. But at the same time, I still have to be very intentional with what I'm going to do and the time that is dedicated to family, the time that's dedicated to work, the time that's dedicated to coaching these kids basketball, or whatever it is, the time dedicated to working on music. Like, if I don't take it that seriously, then things won't run the way they should run, and that's just it. I'm about efficiency, I'm about structure, and I gotta have it. I got too many kids, I got too big of a family, I got too many responsibilities to, kind of be living life on accident and just letting and going with emotions. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be on something, and that's just kind of where that comes from.
Respect. I like that answer, man. I need to start applying that to my own actual everyday life, because I be trying to do so many different things all at once, and then I ended up getting stuck. So, I like that what you said, being intentional on what it is that you're going to do for that particular moment, that particular day, and whatnot when it comes to time management, especially, for us, young working professionals. We have a lot of different things going on, sometimes all at once, and sometimes the time management aspect of our lives could be where we can get a little, mixed up and lost in the sauce right there. So, I definitely like that answer right there, and I'm gonna work on applying that more to my life as well. But with that being said, with us now getting into the middle of the year, your song Shiesty is out right now and it's making its round. So what else can we expect for you for the rest of 2024?
Oh yeah, so as far as the rest of 2024, I've been working on doing more performances. Like I said, music is still coming out. I have a single that'll be dropping within the next couple of months. That we've been working on, trying to get some things straight with that. And then the project later this year as well is in the works. But other than that, the main thing is just performances, because I said earlier, I wanted to start creating experiences and moments with the music that I do have, the music that I am working out, the music that I plan on, presenting to the world. Because I have this movement that I'm really trying to get going. And I call it Learn, Apply, Adapt. And it's basically things that we already naturally do. And it stems from me being an educator. We're going to learn whatever we're going to learn. Whether we're hearing it, we're seeing it, we're actually sitting down and taking notes, or somebody's instructing us. And it doesn't have to be in a classroom setting. You learn when you're driving and you're seeing things for the first time. You learn when you overhear a conversation that you weren't necessarily supposed to be a part of. So you're always learning. And so now whatever information you gain from that, whatever skill set that you start to develop and gain from that knowledge, you apply it, right? Whatever that looks like. And so maybe that means, I'll take a simple one, right? You learned about more health and fitness on the nutrition side, all right? Your body doesn't necessarily, you learn that your body doesn't necessarily do well with a certain amount of sugar, right? So, okay, now how can you apply what you learned to your life? Okay, maybe it's time to cut down on the sugar, maybe change up the breakfast or change up the lunch or whatever. Now you start to incorporate these things and adapt. That's just what we naturally do as time goes on. We adapt, we change, right? You just got to make sure that you're changing for the better. So you're learning and you're applying these things that you're learning to your lives, and then you're making sure that the change that does take place, that comes out of you or that comes out of the people around you, is something that you can be proud of, and something that you can have a little pride in, and something that ultimately everybody respects because of what it's doing for the greater good. And so that's kind of what I'm on. And I push that through the lyrics, through just being as real as I can through my life, and letting people just take a glimpse in it, and hopefully and praying, you know, that somebody gets inspired and motivated to learn, apply, adapt, and really, you know, really be about it.
I like that right there. And with that being said, you know, for anybody out there that's listening right now, you know, if you had like advice, especially for a lot of the up and coming artists, you know, that are on the same path that you're on, what would that advice be?
Yeah, my advice would be to really dive deep, and if you're a producer, dive deep. Like if you're coming in working on, it's kind of, I played sports growing up too, so I'm kind of thinking like if you continue to come in here and work on your free throws would be good, but while you're working on your free throws, you know your left hand is still weak. Like what's your left hand when it comes to this craft? Like why not strengthen that, right? If you're a singer and you can really sing, you really killing it. But these 4 notes or these upper octaves or whatever, like you can get up there, but you're not confident. Why you're not confident? Why can't you get them without effortlessly? Like why not dive deeper? And so that would be my advice, because like I said, I'm on my own journey. I'm not with a label. I'm independent. You know what I'm saying? Getting a few shows, trying to get my thing going. But I would say dive deep, because one, it brings, like I said, it brings you a certain level of intimacy with your creativity, but it gives you an opportunity to really create. I mean, really create, and not just make something. Not just put something out, but to really create and give birth to something. So I would say dive deep, and enjoy your journey, you know, and because if you stop it, it stops. So you know, everybody says stay consistent, don't give up, you know, get your money. Like all of that is true, but I would say dive deep. Like wherever you are, whether you got the bread, whether you don't, whether you got the marketing, whether you don't, like wherever you are, dive deep. That because it only strengthens and solidifies the foundation that's laid as you go on your journey.
Absolutely, man. And with that being said, man, Trell, we want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, coming on to the show and whatnot and all that good stuff, man. For people out there that's trying to reach you, those who want to get in contact with you and hear your music, how can they make that possible?
Oh, absolutely, man. You can follow me on all social platforms at Trell Brooks NC. Trell Brooks NC. I'll definitely pop up. And as far as the music, man, I'm streaming everywhere. You know, Google, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, like anywhere that you can stream it, YouTube, you know, listen to it, whatever. I'm out there. So, man, I appreciate y'all having me. I appreciate the support. Again, it's Trell Brooks NC. Learn, apply, adapt, man. You knew better, you do better.
Absolutely. And for everybody else out there, man, keep it locked and stay tuned here to the show, because coming up next, we're going to preview this song right here from Trell Brooks, our guest here tonight. And we got Shiesty coming your way. It's your boy Emilio Wackball. Keep it locked right here to the show.
Yeah. It's your boy Trell. Look, do 'em real dirty, then watch me get away. Too many options to make profit every day. Everywhere I go, they want me to stay. The game is on the line, and I ain't come to play. Do 'em real dirty, then you watch me get away. Too many options to make profit every day. Yeah, everywhere I go, they want me to stay. The game is on the line, and I ain't come to play. My rhetoric effortless, a certified spitting specialist. Shiesty on the track, it's a fact I'm not one to recommend. For features, I leave them speechless, hoping the homies comprehend. Let go of controllers. If you ain't handling busyness, I've been in this. Really been in this, ain't about no benefits. Giving life to all of these kids, but the game I'm killing it. Roll up to the spot, exercising my black privilege. Few gentlemen making deals in the manner of diligence. Keep it hydrated for the fire blazing for all that won't smoke. Watch us creep up to your city and turn it around and make it our own. Some of these plans, them bands and a few calls on the phone to get it in motion. The camera and folks, we've been going off. Look, you doing real dirty, then you watch me get away. Yeah, too many options to make profit every day. Everywhere I go, they want me to stay. The game is on the line, and I ain't come to play. Yeah, doing real dirty, then you watch me get away. Too many options to make profit every day. Yeah, everywhere I go, they want me to stay. The game is on the line, and I ain't come to play. Nah, you know my steez from the sound of my voice. Something smooth and luxurious, yeah, I'm here to destroy everything that's in my path that doesn't yield a reward. The realest value has been growing from the depths of my core. 2 girls and 2 boys, the reason my rhymes never been childish. Drive me up the wall, but I appreciate that mileage. Coldest out the crew, throw up the deuce and get the wildest. Dressing up my life when I write it so nice and stylish. Winter is coming, ain't no games for sitting up on this throne. After holding everybody else has gotta hold your own. Get it out the mud before that mud becomes your final home. Where you rest your bones, I'ma flex while I got breath, keep them in check, step on their neck too long. Make it hard to believe, can you believe these metaphors I'm on? Skew your point of view when you not true to who you really are. I know you think I'm flowing when I'm just cutting that false alone. In the danger, no false alone.